verse 3. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Asim Prabhu, for the announcements. Very nicely summarized. So we will start by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga with some kirtan, bhajan. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swāminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we seek the blessings of the great Acharya, Srila Ramanujacharya, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, and the Adi Guru, Srila Nityananda Prabhu, to bestow us with nothing but pure devotional service. This coming Thursday, as Asim Prabhu announced, is the appearance of Lord Nityananda. So I would like to sing one bhajan glorifying Lord Nityananda. This bhajan was composed by Sri Narottam Das Thakur, whose appearance is the next day, Friday, this coming Friday. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Rohini Kumar जय जय नित्यानंद रोहिणी कुमार। निताय पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल जे छाया जगत जुड़ा। निताय पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल जे छाया जगत जुड़ा। है नोनी ताई बीने राधा कृष्ण पाइते ना राधा कृष्ण पाइते ना दृढ़ कोरी धरो निताय पाय दृढ़ कोरी धरो निताय पाय दृढ़ कोरी धरो निताय पाय दृढ़ कोरी धरो निताय पाय। हरि बोल। शेषं वंदनाहि जा वृथा जन्म गेलो ता সেই পশু বড় দুরাচার शेषं वंदनाहि जा वृथा जन्म गेलो ता সেই পশু বড় দুরাচার। নিতাই না বলিল মুখে মাঝিল সংসার সুখে নিতাই না বলিল মুখে মাঝিল সংসার संसार सुखे विद्याकुल की कोरी बेटा विद्याकुल की कोरी बेतार विद्याकुल की कोरी बेतार विद्याकुल की कोरी बेतार वो अहंकार मौत होया निताय पद पाशा प्रिया असत्य रे सत्य कोरी मानी अहंकार मत होया निताय पद पाशा प्रिया असत्य रे सत्य कोरी मानी निताय करुणा होवे ब्रज राधा कृष्णा पाइबे निताय करुणा होवे व्रज राधा कृष्णा पावे धरो निताय चरण दुखानि धरो निताय चरण दुखानि धरो निताय चरण दुखानि धरो निताय चरण दुखानि हरि बोल निताय चरण सत्य ताहारो सेवक नित्य निताय पद सदा करो आशा निताय चरण सत्य ताहारो सेवक नित्य निताय चरण करो आशा निताय पद सदा करो आशा नरोत्तम बड़ो दुखी दुखी नरोत्तम बड़ो दुखी निताई मोरे करो सुखी धाम बड़ो दुखी निताई मोरे करो सुखी राखो रंग चरणेर पाशा 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 निताई पद कमल कोटि चंद्र सुशीतल जय छाया जगत जुरा हैनोनी ताईवीने राधा कृष्ण पाइते ना हैनोनी ताईवीने राधा कृष्ण पाइते ना दृढ़ कोरी धरो नीतार पाय 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 निताई गौरांग निताई गौरांग निताई गौरांग गौर हरि निताई गौरांग निताई गौरांग निताई गौरांग गौर हरि निताई गौरांग निताई गौरांग निताई गौरांग गौर हरि जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि। जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि। बोलो निताय गौरांग गौर हरि। निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग गौर हरि। निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग गौर हरि। This is Rag Basant, during the spring time right now. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaur Hari. Jaya Satchitananda Gaur Hari. Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Madan Mohan, Jayo Radha Madan Mohan, Sanatan Prana Dhana He. जयतां सुरतो पंगो मम मंदमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्व पदाम्बोजो राधा मदन मोहन जय राधा मदन मोहन दिव्य वृंदारण्य कल्पद्रुमा श्रीमत् रत्नांगद सिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रील राधा गोविंद देवो प्रेष्ठालिभि सेव्यो मानव स्मरामि जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद श्रीमान रास रसारंभी वंशी वटस्थितः कर्षणैर्स्वनैर्वेणोर्गोपी श्रीगोपी नाथाय श्रेयस्तु नः गोपीनाथ 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 राधा गोपीनाथ 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 जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे राधे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे राधे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम जय ललिता विशाखा राधे श्याम जय ललिता विशाखा राधे श्याम जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय प्रभु Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Guru Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. 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 Ajanu lambito bhuja Kanakayavdhato Sankirtanai pitaravo Kamalayatāksho Vishvambharo Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagata Priyakaro Karunayavtaro Patita Pavana Nitai Gaur Sundar Ki Jai Patita Pavana Nitai Gaur Sundar Ki Jai Patita Pavana Gaur Sundar Ki Jai Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana Nitai Gaur Chandra Sabai Avatara Sara Shiromani Kevalayananda Kanda Jaya Jaya Chaitanya Chandra Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Taya Kalpita Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purāṇayamalam Prema Pumartho Maha Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Mataidam Nayatra Yagraha Paraha Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayodiraye Shrinvanta Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam Hrudiyantasta Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhrutsatam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी निगम-कल्प-तरो गलितं फलम् शुक-मुखāद amṛta-drava-saṁyutam pibata bhāgavataṁ rasam ālayam rasikā bhuvi bhāvukāḥ. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Navanirada nindita kanti dharam raso sagar nagar bhupavaram shubha vankiva charu shikhanda shikhin bhaja krishna nidhim vrajaraja sutam bhaja krishna nidhim vrajaraja sutam. Radhika sarodayendu nindi mukha mandali vandiye Śrī Pāda-padma vrishabhanu nandini vandiye Śrī Pāda-padma vrishabhanu nandini Kishori tere चरणन की रज पाऊं किशोरी तेरे चरणन की रज पाऊं बैठी रहूं जन के कोने बैठी रहूं जन के कोने श्याम राधिका गाऊं श्याम राधिका गाऊं किशोरी तेरे चरणन की रज पाऊं Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Today is Sunday, 21st of February 2021. And I welcome everybody on behalf of the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad group. So we will be continuing serving Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, part 3 of Canto number 1, chapter 1, verse 3. And this is our third session, or part 3. So, by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, we have been trying to dive deep into this nectar of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nigama-kalpa-taror galitaṁ phalaṁ śuka-mukhād amṛta-drava-saṁyutam pibata bhāgavataṁ rasam ālayam muhur rasika bhuvi bhāvukāḥ. Quickly, to just summarize the first two parts, this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is galitaṁ phalam, the ripened fruit of the nigam or the Vedas, the tree. Taroha means the tree, the Vedic tree. The Vedas are full of all kinds of knowledge, material and spiritual. And the Vedas are capable, they are just like a desire tree. They are capable of giving anything that the devotee asks for. Just like a kalpa-taror, like a desire tree that is found in the spiritual world. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vruksha lakshat priteshu. There are millions and millions of desire trees in Golok. And they can, whatever the desire of a person or entity is, they can fulfill those desires. Similarly, the Vedas are like a desire tree. There are variegated, many different varieties of desires that persons have. Gross material desires, desires that are mixed with knowledge, gyan, desires that are mixed with karma, desires that are mixed with dhyan, desires that are mixed with bhakti, and all of the above, mishra. Some desire enjoyment, some desire liberation, some desire bhakti, some desire a combination of material things and spiritual things. So the Vedas are capable of fulfilling those desires. Because it's a kalpa vriksha. Kalpa means whatever you imagine, whatever you desire, it can deliver. And the example that we gave earlier is just like Srila Prabhupada also has used this example, at least the essence of the example, where if there are a few people standing in front of a very, very, very rich person. One person says, "My dear sir, can you give me $10? So as per his desire, the rich man gives him $10. Another person comes and says, "Sir, can you give me $50,000? And this magnanimous person will give him 50,000 as per the desire of the second person. A third person comes and says, "My dear sir, can you give me $1 million? And that rich person is capable very easily of giving $1 million. So he gives him $1 million. Another person comes and says, "My dear sir, give me 10 million. And he grants him 10 million. So like this, the Vedas, the pure Vaishnavas, the dham of the Supreme Lord, the associates of the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord himself, they are like desire trees. Whatever we ask them, they can give us. And most of us in this world are seeking, those who are believers in God, they're always seeking some material benediction. There are so many faiths that have faith in a higher power, in God. Like the Christians, they pray, "Oh dear God, give us thy daily bread." Srila Prabhupada would quote this. A lot of Christians, devout Christians, pray this. So the good Lord is providing. Prabhupada said, yeah, when somebody asks, he provides. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Arthi, Artharthi, Jnani, Jigyasa. Mostly in these 4 categories, persons come to me. People who are in distress, Arti. Arthati, those who want money, wealth. Jnani, those who are seekers of knowledge. And Jigyasu, those who are inquisitive. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions this. These are mostly the type of people who come to me. And like a desire tree, Krishna grants those desire. And that is a motivation for most people to perform dharma or to become religious. Because their material desires they get money, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. These are the 4 things that have been propagated a lot in the Vedas. But there is a part of the Vedas which is so special, which manifests in the maturity of the author or the compiler of the Vedas, Srila Vyasadeva, is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. In his maturity, dharma projita kaitavatra parmo nirmat saranam satam vedyam vastavamatra shivadam tapotre unmunanam Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam mahamuni krite kim va. Vyasadeva himself says that I have compiled so many Vedic literatures, include all the Vedas. But once I compiled the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, kim va? What is the necessity of any other book? Kim va? Pare, other. Ishvaro avarudyate atra shushrubi krutubi tatshanat. This is the previous verse. We studied that in detail. I think we took about 5 or 6 sessions in studying that verse. So Vyasadeva in his maturity itself. So there is a part of this Vedas, or I would rather say the commentary or the pure commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The pure commentary on the Vedanta, Vyasadeva compiled the Vedanta. Veda means the entire Vedas, which deals with many different types of sciences, many different types of social, economic, altruism, biological sciences, military warfare. Many subjects are there in the Vedas. And all these, plus of course spirituality, knowledge of the soul, knowledge of the super soul, the heavenly planets, hellish planets, the earthly planet, description of the creation, material, and the expansions of the Supreme Lord in the different Vaikuntha planets. All that is there in the Vedas. But Vedanta, Anta means conclusion. At the end of the day, what is Vedanta? The conclusion of all the Vedas It's like if we say, in a material sense, to give you all an example, sometimes in my family, one very rich uncle used to say this. This is in my practical experience when I was, I guess, in the 5th standard. And I used to go via school bus. At the end of the day, I would get on the school bus and then it would take me home. The South Bombay school bus going towards Churchgate, Kolaba. So somehow or the other, I missed that bus. Sometimes the periods would get finished earlier, so then we would play with some children in the school and not realizing that it was already past the time and the buses started leaving, and then by the time I came out, I saw my bus was gone. So I called my uncle who had a car at that time. We are talking about the early 70s. And I said, "Uncle, I missed my school bus." So he says, "No problem, I'll come pick you up." So he came after about half an hour. And then I had my school bag. And he opened his trunk and he said, "I'll put it in." And he lifted that school bag of mine, which was like literally a suitcase, 5th standard, and he put it in the trunk, in the boot. And as he was lifting it, and he says, "What is inside this?" I said, "Masa, these are all books, different subjects." And then he simply laughed and said, "At the end of the day, with all this education, and even if you do college and your PhD, what is the conclusion? You still will have to make lots of money. So you're better off joining your father in business instead of, going through all this." And then he laughed. It was, of course, a joke. He was not discouraging from continuing my education. But here's the point is that at the end of the day, when we are in a particular endeavor, what is the conclusion? Why are we doing this? So similarly, what is the conclusion of the Vedas? So Vyasadeva was inspired by Naradji, who brought Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from the spiritual domain, and through the heart of Vyasadeva, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was manifest when Naradji transferred it to him. And this is the ripened fruit of all the Vedas. It is the conclusion even of the Vedanta, conclusion of the conclusions. It is the pure, unadulterated commentary on the Vedanta. That is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is compared to a ripened fruit of the desired tree called the Vedas. So for those who are very intelligent, they will actually hear Vyasadeva when he says, "Kim vapare?" There is no other need. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is self-sufficient in its realization. And how is it so? Śuka-mukhād drava amṛta-drava-saṁyutam. Sukha, because it emanated from the lotus lips of Sukha. Mukha means his lotus mouth or his mouth. Drava. Drava means it is like a semi-solid. Like in the good example would be in the summer season in India, especially the mango season, along with our roti or puris, we also have the mango drava. We call it rasa. But it is not liquidy. It is not solid. it is semi-solid. And if it comes from some of the best mangoes, like the Alfonso mango, or the Rajapuri, or the Pairi, some of the best top-notch mangoes that grow in the Maharashtra region and some of the regions of Gujarat, they're so sweet, so nectarian, that even after you finish eating from that bowl, you will take your finger and go around it, and you will see stuck all along the finger, and then one will lick it. It is drava. I'm trying to give a description here so that we can have an analogy. And that drava, that mango nectar that we can, semi-solid, doesn't have any, when it is properly made, doesn't have any skin in it. Because the first thing that you do is, I'm sure there's some of them here in their days, back in those days. I remember during summer vacation, every evening my mother used to, this was my job, to earn my pocket money, extra pocket money. We used to take a patela or a big bowl, steel bowl. And in those days, the mangoes used to come in wooden crates. And some of them were wrapped around with jute cloth. And that jute cloth was washed very nicely. And then it was wrapped tightly around that bowl and tied with a sutli, with a thread, a jute thread. Nice. It's almost like the side of a mridanga, that if you play on it, it will make a resonating sound. That tight. And then when you have the best of the mangoes, my father was an expert. He used to, we used to at one time have about 5 to 10 cases of mango in the house. The most raw ones were in the bottom, and then the ripened ones on the top, and the most ripened, the moment you open that crate, that fragrance will spread all over the house. It will even spread if the main door is open. It will even go outside. And everybody will know that, now they are actually evaluating their mangoes. The neighbors were very curious. So like this, and then Father had taught us that the best ones that are there, they have a very nice sweet smell. And then you kind of, massage them, make them soft. And then you take out all that, no flesh, no upper skin, and all that is inside that mango will fall in that jute. And then slowly, with the mango seed, you rub it on that jute fabric, and the pure nectar will collect in that patila or in that steel bowl. And then when we were done, we opened the jute, untie it, the jute cloth, and then we see very nice thick mango nectar. So, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is not only the ripened fruit of the tree, of the Vedic desire tree, but it is that drava. And that drava inside, when we are eating it, that mango pulp that is there, it doesn't have any kind of skin, or it doesn't have any kind of what you call fiber in it. It is pure. And so is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. There are no fibers of jnana. There are no fibers or skins or other residues of karma or of any material objects or material desires of nature or any kind of materialism. It is pure. It is amala, spotless in all respects. It is amṛta-drava. Amrut means nectar. But if we analyze the word amrut, mruta means death, and amrut means the opposite. So that brings that nectar, once one has taken, will take us to deathlessness. That is called amrut. If you all remember that there was during the Devasur Sangram, the fight between the demigods and the demons, when the Mandrachal mountain was churned in the ocean, and from the ocean came out that nectar, which is called amrut. And they were all crazy. They all wanted to become immortal. On one side, the demigods, the Devi Devtas wanted it. And on the other side, the demons wanted it. And there was a tug of war. When the nectar was collected, there was a huge fight. Who will have it first? The demons wanted, no, we should have it first. We want to become immortal. The Devtas said, no, we will have it. And like this, there was a huge fight over that amrut. One little drop, and one will become immortal. No more being born in this material world. No more death. And that is why, actually, if you all know, the Kumbh Mela. What is the Kumbh Mela? The Kumbh means, this is the Kumbh means the pot. Pot where during the old times in some Satya Yuga, when the churning of the ocean happened, and the demons and the devtas, the demigods, they churned it, and out came the nectar that was collected in the kumbha, in the pot. And then, when that pot, during their fight and when they fleeing, what happened is a few drops fell on the ground. And wherever those drops fell, that it is said that that place became, it is as good as amrut. So there is the different parts, like in Ujjain, that river, or in the Ganga. So all different places, the different kumbhas take place. This is where all the nectarean the drops of the nectar or the amrut fell. So here the word amrut is used is because Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, those who serve Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam itself is amrut. It is nectar. It will take us eternally from death. It will grant us the opposite, which is eternal life in the spiritual world, in the spiritual domain, in Golok Vrindavan. That is the nectar of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. That is the nectar. Therefore it is amrut, described as amrut. Tava kathamrutam. Gopi Geet 9th verse starts with this 2 words, 3 words, Tava katha, amrut. O Krishna, your pastimes or your leela, hearing of your pastimes, hearing of the nectarian pastimes, nectarian, their amrut. Tava kathamrita tapta jivanam. This life in this material world is full of miseries. Tapta jivanam. And according to the different Vaishnavas, great sadhus, kavi biriditam, kalmash apahanam. It takes away all the miseries. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam taputrai unmulanam. Again, the previous verse, if some of you all remember. Dharma projita kaitavatra parmo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavam atra shivadam tapotrai unmulanam. Tapotrai. Tap means the miseries and trai means the threefold or the 3 kinds. Adhyatmik klesh or tap, adi bhautik klesh or tap, and adi daivik klesh or tap. In the material world, all of us have to go through this. Dukkhalayam or shashvatam. Krishna himself has mentioned that in the Bhagavad Gita. You cannot expect utopia, or you cannot expect eternal, everlasting bliss in this material world. Something that is made of plastic, you cannot expect it to have the strength of platinum or of a solid rock, because that is its nature. It is weak. It is brittle. It can be easily broken even with the fingers. Let's say some plastic cap or some plastic bottle, it can be easily crushed. That is the nature of plastic. Similarly, the nature of this material world is, it is full of miseries, categorized into three different categories. Miseries that are inflicted by the self, adhyatmik klesha. Miseries inflicted by others, adi bhautik klesha. And miseries that are inflicted by natural catastrophes or by nature or by Devi Devtas, that is known as adi daivik klesha. So tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi biriditam kalma shapaham. It takes away all the different kalmasha. Although all these miseries may come, because Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is Sri Krishna, his associates in the highest purity, they are able to absorb all these miseries that will come in this material world, although we are here, by giving us that consciousness that we are not these bodies. We are a spirit soul, and we are eternally connected to Sri Krishna. And when we are in that consciousness, then these tapotraya, or these three kinds of miseries, cannot touch us. They can come all they want, but we will be aloof of it. That is what it means, tapotraya unmulanam. First, it's with the consciousness, realization, and the third is eventually it will uproot it completely when we are transported back home, back to Godhead, by the mercy of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Where there is no birth, death, old age and disease, no janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi. There is no tapotraya, no adhyatmik, adi bhautik and adi daivik kleshas there. So it is amrut, this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Pure nectar. It is perfect. The word saṁyutam is being used. Samyak yuktam iti samyukta. Samyak means full, complete. And yutam or yuktam means it completely engages in Krishna's service. That is the meaning of samyuktam. And why is that so? Because śuka-mukhād. Śukadeva Gosvāmī in Sanskrit, sukha means parrot. And it is said that on the trees, when there are ripened fruits, the parrots usually can figure out which is the most ripened fruit. And they go and cling to that little branch and start biting on a ripened fruit. And if we see, it is said that if you see that a particular ripened fruit has been touched, or the beak of a parrot has gouged into a part of that fruit, if one picks that fruit, it is even sweeter than the other fruits that are other ripened fruits that are there on the tree. So already a sweet or a ripened fruit that is touched or tasted by a parrot, that fruit becomes that sweeter fruit becomes even more sweeter. So because Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Śukadeva Gosvāmī is compared, or he is actually a parrot in Radharani's, he is Radharani's pet parrot. It so happened that when Radha and Krishna and their associates wound up their Vraj pastimes, it was the desire of Radharani and Krishna that the pet parrot of Radharani stay back in this material world. And why is it so? Because they wanted that Sukha, this parrot, to narrate their pastimes, to narrate their wonderful pastimes for the benefit of the suffering souls. Tava katha amṛta. Because this parrot had witnessed all the different rasik pastimes of Radha Krishna in the different realms of Vraj. Radha Kund, Shyam Kund, Kusum Sarovar, Mansi Ganga, Chandra Sarovar, different parts of Govardhan, Dan Ghati, Luk Dau, Apsara Kund, Naval Kund, Narad Kund, Gwal Pokhara, Anior, Govind Kund, Surbhi Kund, Jathipura, Uddhav Kund, Barsana, Unchgaon, Nandgaon, Chiksoli, Kadamter, Sanket, so many different parts of Vraj, Gokul, Mahavan. This parrot used to follow everywhere. Radharani had trained this parrot so well that wherever Krishna went, that parrot would follow, bring messages. And even during the reunion of Radha and Krishna, during the Sambhog, that parrot used to sit, sarika, on the branch and relish the sweet talks, whether in man or whether otherwise. The different prema rasa. Parrot relished those. Parrot witnessed those. This parrot was very special. So everybody else went back to the Nitya Golok Dham, but this parrot was asked to stay back. And this is the heart of a Vaishnava. Anya bilashita shunya jnana karma navrutam anukulyena krishna anushilanam tad bhakti ruttam. No material desires, no desires for self enjoyment of a personal sense gratification. Whatever my Radha Krishna wants, I'm willing to do. Everybody else, you all can go back to the Nitya Dham, Golok. But if I have to stay back, I will stay back. No problem, Radhe. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his bhajan, Gopinath Mama Nivedana Suno. He says, Ashiya prapanche jivera karone. Ashiya prapanche jivero karone. Leela koile shubhista Gopinath Mama Nivedana Suno. Gopinath Ashiya prapanche jivera karane leela koile shubhistar. You come down to this material world, O Krishna, jivera karane, for all those suffering souls in this material world. Another bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive doya kori Saparshada siyo dhama saha avatari Atyanta durlabha prema kori bareda Sikhaye Sharanagati Bhakatero Pran Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive doya kori Saparshada siyo dhama sahayava tari Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive doya kori. Out of pure compassion for the fallen souls, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is that? Radha Krishna nahi anya. Radha and Krishna is Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive doya kari. Out of pure compassion for the fallen souls, Jeev, in this material world, Swaparshada, he came along with his associates. Siyo Dham, he brought also his Dham, Golok Dham. Saha Autari, along with the associates, along with the Dham, he incarnated, he came down. Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kori Baredan. The most rarest of the rarest Krishna Prem, he gave in charity. Sikhaye Sharanagati Bhakatero Pran. O life and soul of the devotees, please teach me the process of surrender. Sharanagati. This is Radharani's compassion. Because she knew that just simply hearing the pastimes, there Shri Radhika Madhav Apara Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Namna. We sing that in the Mangalarti every day, verse number 5. The Rupa, the forms, the descriptions of the forms. The Guna, the descriptions of their transcendental qualities. Shri Radhika Madhav Apar Leela, the unlimited pastimes of Radha Krishna. Madhurya Leela, the conjugal loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. Namna, the holy names, the descriptions of the holy names. That is for the benefit of these jivas who are here in this material world. So Sukha was requested to stay back. Without batting an eyelid, he said, no problem. As you wish, my dear Radha Krishna. That is real bhakti. A Kanishta will think, oh, everybody else is going to Vaikuntha, to Golok, why not me? I'm so unfortunate. Please take me, please take me, please take me. But no, I'll stay back because it is your desire. Srila Prabhupada left Golok Vrindavan to come here. All these acharyas are manjaris, which we explained yesterday in yesterday's katha. They come here time and again, leaving the company of Radha and Krishna and their associates, leaving Golok Dham. They come here for their pleasure, for a purpose. So Sukha stayed back. And Radharani said, you recite Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam means, Bhagavata means everything connected with Nandanandan, Sri Krishna. As explained in the first verse, there are 6 different darshans of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Vasudev Krishna, Nandanandan Krishna, Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna and their associates, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So, all this encompasses Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Now one may ask, how is it that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Well, let us quickly analyze it. Vyasadeva in his maturity was asked, Vyasadeva, when he was despondent and sad, sitting in Badrika Ashram, not knowing the cause of his sadness, Gurudev appeared, Sri Naradji. And Naradji told him the reason for his despondency, that you have compiled so much information in the Vedas. Ved means information or knowledge. All the different subject matters, spiritual also and material, combination of both. And most of the Vedas deal with dharma, artha, kama, moksha, which is all basically revolving around one's sense gratification in a certain way. Because it's all about me. Persons perform dharma, because if I perform dharma, if I become religious, I will get artha, money. And if I get artha, all my karma or my material desires will be fulfilled. At least that's what they think. So religiosity brings material progress. That is the impetus. Material progress means material desires are fulfilled. And eventually, because the soul has got nothing to do with this material world, any interaction with the material world, no matter how much, whether in quantity or quality, there is no compatibility, so there is no satisfaction. So eventually, out of those, some of the intelligent ones, they wanted out of this material rat race, and they are in pursuit of liberation or moksha. But the impetus or the inspiration is me. I am going to perform dharma so that I can get artha, money. And because I got money, I can fulfill my desires. It is I and mine. And eventually my desires are not fulfilled. I'm not internally satisfied. I want liberation. So it's for me. That is not bhakti. That is not Shuddha bhakti. There is no question of giving any kind of satisfaction or any kind of pleasure to the Supreme Lord. There is a deficiency there. And the Vedas have proclaimed dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Vyasadeva, you have written that. Mostly that's what you have described. But I want you to now, I'm going to impart you some pure, 100% pure bhakti in the form of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in your heart. Please remanifest that, compile it. And once he did that, he was completely satisfied. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam as I was saying, how is it the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Because Vyasadeva was told that you have not sufficiently described just purely the pastimes of Sri Krishna. You have so many other different descriptions of karma, gyan, and you have a lot of pastimes of the different Devi Devtas in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, in the Puranas, but nothing so exclusive about Sri Krishna or related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, Adi Purush, Nanda Nandan, who is Janmadi Yasya, from whom everything emanates. So the word Hare means Krishna's internal potencies. Of course, the highest and the topmost internal potency is Srimati Radharani. But there are other internal potencies in the word Hara. The Vrajvasis, the Gopis, the Gopas. And also, depending on the consciousness of the person chanting the word Hare or the word Hara, internal potencies also means the different Lakshmis, the different devotees, liberated devotees, the pure devotees who are Krishna's internal energies or expansions of his internal energies. So, and the entire Acharya Guru Varg is there. And for those who are in the Vaikuntha Bhav, the word Hara means Lakshmi Devi and all the different pure devotees like Ramanujacharya. Today, it is his appearance day. So, the word Hara encompasses all these pure devotees. So, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is what? It is a description of the Supreme Lord, his creation, his expansions. Canto number 1 through 9. It's about his devotees, Bhishma Dev, Kunti, Prithu Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. So many wonderful different devotees, and so that is Hara. Krishna, the all attractive, whether he's in the form of Narayan or in the form of Nanda Nandan. He's very attractive. Of course, Nanda Nandan is the most attractive. Rama, Ranjeti Rameti Iti Rama. Ram here, if I go deeper, that is the 10th canto, especially the Madhurya Rasa. The Pancha Maharasa Adhyaya is Rama. Radharaman, one who sports with Radharani. This is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the Mahamantra. That is Amrut. So Sukha stayed back, and wherever he went, he used to narrate constantly the pastimes, and he always liked to hear. So one time it so happened that Lord Shiva was requested by Parvati Devi, please recite the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is in some yuga. And actually speaking, at that time it is said that Lord Shiva was the first speaker of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And he preferred to just speak it to Parvati Devi, nobody else. Nowadays, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is spoken to anybody and everyone. People have made it a money-making business. So be it, because Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is nigama-kalpa-taror, galitaṁ, phalaṁ. For those who want to make money using Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the desired tree has heard their prayers. Okay, you want fame, you want money. Theek hai, I will grant it to you. But those who want pure bhakti, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam says, yes, I will certainly grant that to you. Some of the esoteric and the internal meanings of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam are not meant for the public because of their immaturity. They will not be able to understand it. That is why Vyasadeva had to compile 9 cantos prior to the 10th one. So that first the philosophy sinks in. So that we understand the tattva so nicely. Therefore, we will never have any doubts. Not even an iota of a doubt. There will only be purity when we hear the 10th canto and the different uncommon pastimes of Sri Krishna. Cheer Haran, Gopi Vastra Haran, and all those different Madhurya Rasa, uncommon. The Parkiya Ras, loving affairs with married women, meeting the young maidens in the middle of the night. Immediately the mind is going to think, what kind of a God is this? But unless and until our tattva is not perfect, we have not heard Bhagavat from the right source, then these doubts will come and we will commit offenses. Therefore, certain esoteric subjects with the deeper meanings are only discussed with some liberated souls or those who are rasik in nature. Otherwise, they will be misunderstood. Rasika, bhuvi, bhāvukāḥ. As in this muhur, rasika, bhuvi, bhāvukāḥ. It has become so tasteful to those rasikas, those who have understood by the mercy. This nectarean juice that is relishable for all, but it is even relishable to bhuvi, bhāvukāḥ, to the liberated souls. So Shivji, considering that Parvati Devi is advanced, he started speaking Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And he told Parvati Devi that, look, my dear, as you know, when I speak katha, I go into a trance. And just, give me some sign that you are awake and you are listening by just saying, aha, sadhu, good, hari bol, intermittently. So she said, yes, my dear Lord, I will do that. And Lord Shiva started speaking Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And lo and behold, who was attracted to that spot? True speakers of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, they are just not speakers also. They are very keen listeners. That is the quality. A quality of a good vyakta or a speaker is that that speaker has to have heard it and is always enthusiastic to hear. The buck never stops. That I have become a great speaker. Everybody thinks highly of me. People should hear from me and I should not hear from anyone. Then that is just a material concept. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is unlimited. It's an Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam. Ananda, bliss. Ambudhi means ocean. And Vardhanam means to constantly increase. There is no stopping. One cannot even fathom the depth of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. One time, this thought came to me. I like to go scuba diving whenever the opportunity arises. And a few years ago, I had gone to one of the very prominent advanced dives in Hawaii, Maui. It's called the Molokini dive. And in the Molokini dive, we have a dive master who takes the group diving. There is a wall. It's like, when we are driving, let's say, in a mountainous region, and if we look to the left, it is steep, so deep. So similarly, it is like, you can imagine that underwater there is actually, the region of Hawaii is full of inert volcanoes, or there has in the past there has been so much volcanic activity that major mountains that were probably as high or pretty close to 20,000 feet, they have been submerged underwater. So if one is in the ocean and the mountain is covered by the ocean, and then when you dive and you see you are on the top of the mountain several feet below, let's say 50 feet, 100 feet underwater, that is the peak of the mountain. But can you imagine that when you're on one of the sides of the wall of the mountain, which we saw was so deep that you cannot see anything underneath, several thousands of feet deep. It was called the Molokini wall. So I was just thinking, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is like that. It is so deep, so much nectar, that it doesn't stop at a particular point. Muhur rasikā, bhuvi bhāvukāḥ, rasik. It brings in more and more and more nectar. Not only for the common person, but even for those who are already liberated. Lord Shiva is liberated. Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. Even for him, Śukadeva Gosvāmī is liberated. So he was so fortunate, he was thinking Lord Shiva is speaking Bhagavat. And he perched himself upon the tree underneath which Lord Shiva was speaking Bhagavatam. Lord Shiva immediately went into trance. Parvati Devi started saying, and after some time she fell asleep. Now, those gestures and those sounds that stop, and somebody is desirous to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from a pure devotee like Lord Shiva, fully realized, is thinking, now what's going to happen? Katha will stop, Lord Shiva will wake up from his trance, from his meditative inner mood, and I will lose the opportunity to hear from him. So Sukha was perfected imitation. As we know, parrots imitated the voice of Parvati Devi, and he said, sadhu, sadhu, nice, Hari Bol. And Lord Shiva continued the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Then at one point, Lord Shiva, when he woke up, he saw Parvati Devi was in full slumber. And then he started looking around. Where is this sound coming from? Who was making that sound? It's just not that Parvati Devi must have just fallen asleep. Now, she is fully in a deep slumber. So he started looking, and then when he looked up, he saw the parrot, and he understood, oh, this is the trespasser. Lord Shiva, when he gets angry, we know that he's got that third eye. Without my permission, how can you sit in this private conversation that I was having? So, sometimes even the bhav here is that one can think that what is wrong? Well, nowadays Bhagavatam has become like a business, so everybody is welcome. But certain kathas that are spoken only to high-class devotees behind closed doors. It's not meant for the ears of everyone. That is why in the temples, mostly when we speak Harikatha, it is based on a simple Sunday feast, home program level, where, anybody is coming. There might be a few initiated devotees, but there might be some who are first-timers, some who are, everybody has got a certain level and a capacity. So sometimes we are told, I've been told many times, keep it very simple. These are new people, they will not understand. But sometimes I think that my dear sir or my dear Mataji, you should be interested. Don't worry about the others. Paramatma is situated in everybody's heart. It will always do good. Some of the people, when they tell me that, oh, this is too high, that means, it is too high for you. That is why you don't want me to speak it that way. And then, even when we speak in a simple way, they never listen. They are either on the phone or they are on their WhatsApp or they are doing other activities. Sometimes they will say, oh, Prabhuji, your katha is so nice. So when is your next katha? Please send me the link. Many times, they will say, and then they will never show up. So these are excuses a lot of people make. But there are, genuinely speaking, some of the rasik kathas are not meant for everybody. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He used to perform his pastimes with only his intimate disciples, or devotees rather, in Srinivasa Acharya's house every evening, especially the Sankirtan, where there was a special dance. In ecstasy, Mahaprabhu and his associate danced behind closed doors. The nocturnal kirtan at night. And not everybody was permitted. Only a few selected devotees were allowed. Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Vakreshwar Pandit, Murari Gupta, Srinivasa Acharya, to name a few. So even those kirtans where there was so much display of rasa and the katha, it is not meant for it. And sometimes what happens is that we have seen it through our practical experience. When we sit in katha, and if our attention, our desire for attention is not there, Paramatma within our heart will help us get distracted. Either he will put us to sleep, because certain things, if we are not ready, Paramatma will try to keep us away from it. If that deep desire is not there, either we will doze off, or we will get distracted, or an arrangement will be made that somebody will call us in the middle of the class or the pravachan, or some excuse will be there that today we will do this, we will skip today's pravachan. So this is also Krishna's arrangement. Or for whose ears it is and for whose ears it is not. So it depends on our qualification also. So not knowing that this sukha is Radharani's parrot, of course this is a pastime. Otherwise, how will the future wonderful pastimes could happen? So Lord Shiva, displaying his anger, he got up, took his trishul and started chasing Sukha. And Sukha started flying. Very, very scared of Lord Shiva. And he flew with great speed, all the way from Kailash to Badrikashram. And Lord Shiva was determined to catch Sukha. He was very upset. And Sukha reaches Badrikashram. And at that time, in the hut of Badrikashram, the wife of Vyasdev, I forget her name. It will come to me. She was actually yawning at that time, and her mouth was agape. And at that time, The parrot Sukha entered into the hut and seeing the mouth open, entered into the mouth of Vyasadev's wife and hid there. Lord Shiva came looking into the hut. He saw Vyasadev. He saw, have you seen a parrot come here? And the parrot was so swift that nobody actually saw him go into the mouth. And then Lord Shiva returned back, not able to find. Now this Sukha took residency into the womb of Vyasadev's wife. And she became pregnant because of this Jiva, Sukha present. And when it was time for him to come out, he refused to come out. Vyasadev started talking to the baby. Please come out. Your mother is in pain. Please come out. So Sukha said, no way, I'm not coming out. This world is of Maya. The moment I come out, I will be captured by Maya. I'm better just staying here. I do not want to. Vyasadeva pleaded, but Sukha did not listen. So then he prayed to Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna personally came and had a conversation with Sukha while in the womb of the mother. And he guaranteed him that you will not fall in Maya. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, it was something to do with as long as a little mustard seed stays on the horn of a cow for that much time, you will not be in Maya. You will be fully realized. Something to that extent. It's a long time before that I had heard this katha. So having been assured by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sukha eventually came out, and he came out at the age of 16 years. That's amazing, isn't it? It's difficult to sometimes comprehend a lot of these things, but because it is Shabda Praman, we must believe it. Knowledge that we have got obtained from a perfect source. 3 ways we can obtain knowledge. We have discussed that before. Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Praman, and Shabda Praman. Pratyaksha Praman is whatever knowledge we can get from our senses. But our senses are imperfect. So sometimes our knowledge that we obtain through our senses, seeing is believing, is not the most perfect way. Anuman, hypothesis, experimentation. Maybe, maybe not. We can reach a true conclusion or true knowledge through experimentation, Anuman. But Shabda Praman is perfect. When we hear it from a bona fide source, as it is our good fortune. We have not gone like Professor Sathars of the Ohio State University in 1922, when he met Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, the Gurudev of Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. In his conversation, he says, how do you know all these things that you have been describing about the spiritual planets? Because, Christians, God is God, and, that's it. But we as Sanatan Dharmis, the Saivites of the Bhagavad, we know Krishna's, what color he is, what he wears, what he likes, the foodstuffs he likes, his name of his father, name of his mother, name of his consorts, name of his most favorite consort, Radharani, the family tree. So many details we know. So Professor Sathars asked that, how do you know this? So then, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says that one may have not gone to a faraway land. One may have not gone to a faraway land, but there's always messengers who come from that land. And one is very fortunate to hear from that messenger. One is very fortunate to hear from that messenger who is a bona fide messenger. So similarly, we are very fortunate, Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam as it is. There is no mental or intellectual platforms that are mixed here. Whatever Lord Vyasadeva obtained from Naradji, it came down in disciplic succession to Srila Prabhupada. And to all of us, as long as we stick to the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy as it is, without any kind of contamination with our own intellectual and mental platforms that are permeated with our incapable and imperfect senses. So 16 years he stayed, and then when Krishna assured him, he came out of the mother's womb and he immediately left. He immediately left. And Vyasadeva went behind him. Yam pravrajantam anupeta peta krutyam dvaipayana virakata rajva putreti tanmaya taro abhinedu stam munimano so asmi. Oh my dear son, stop, stop, stop. And all the trees were reverberating, echoing. Who is father? Who is son? Who is father? Who is son? Stop, my dear son. I still have to complete your sanskars. Don't leave home. But Śukadeva Gosvāmī never listened. He did not turn back and he went on going. He went on going on and on and on. And Vyasadeva was morose that my son has left me. Thinking as a father, I was not able to do his sanskaras, could not educate him. As Śukadeva Gosvāmī goes deeper into the forest, aloof from this world, Digambar, not a single piece of cloth on his body, completely on a Brahma Bhuta platform. So when it is said that for the sake of Leela, when he came out of his mother's womb, he was a Brahmavad. He had the knowledge of the Brahman spirit, which is the undifferentiated, non-dual Brahman. What that means is that there are two kinds of spiritualists, we can say. One is the Sagun and one is the Nirgun. Sagun is one who believes that the Supreme Lord is a form, and one believes that he is a part and parcel of that Supreme Lord. Although he is also spiritual like the Supreme Lord, he is distinctly separate. Like Ramanujacharya is one of our acharyas in the pure Sri Sampradaya who propagated that theory, which is called the Shuddha Advaitavad. That is his theory. That yes, the spirit soul is a spirit soul, and the Paramatma or the Lord is also spirit. So they are Advaita, non-different. But at the same time, they are not one. They are distinctly separate. Both are spiritual entities. That is the Vaishnava philosophy. But the Brahmavad philosophy is that I am he, so aham. That me, the Brahman and I, we are the same. So more or less of that thought that I am God, I am that Brahman, I am he. Now that is very interesting, that somebody who has associated with Radharani and Krishna, how can he become a Brahmavad? So that is a mystery, and perhaps that is just to enhance the Leela that is yet to come in the form of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is like the Shastra says that Janma na jayate Shudra sanskarat bhavati dvija. Whoever takes birth in this material world must take a spiritual master. And the spiritual master initiates. And the spiritual master gives us the knowledge. We are born ignorant and we become dvija, twice born. Second birth, after the sanskaras. So keeping that in mind, maybe Krishna had a plan. So at the time of birth, Sukadeva becomes, he appears to be a Brahmavad who is simply meditating. And the Brahmavads also, they are aloof from the three modes of material nature. They are above the tamogun, rajogun and satogun. They are situated on a spiritual platform, but it is on the platform of thinking that I and the Supreme Lord are one. And I am that Brahman. I am He. Or I am God Himself. So Vyasadeva, it is said that to bring his son back, he met a couple hunters who he knew in the forest. They would go deep into the forest. And he taught them Bhagavat. And he taught them some specific verses from the 10th canto. And he said that, while you are wherever you are, please sing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, sing these verses. So they had accepted Vyasadeva as their guru. And they said, yes, Gurudev, whatever you say. So then they used to go into the deep forest and, sing the verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And it so happened that Śukadeva Gosvāmī was meditating at that time and he heard some of these verses. One of these verses was, Aho bakiyam stana kalakutam jhigam sayaya payadapi asadvi lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tato anyam kamva dayalum sharanam vrajena kamva dayalu sharanam vrajena kamva dayalum sharanam vrajena. But Sukadeva Gosvāmī in his meditation heard these verses. In particular this verse, he got up and walked towards the singer who was reciting this. And he said that, where did you learn this? He said, our Gurudev taught us. Can you please take me to your Gurudev? So what was that verse that turned this Brahmavad to learn more? He says, Aho bakiyam stana kalakutam. That bakiyam means putna. Stana, the breast or the chest of putna, the nipples. Kalakutam, she had actually smeared poison on her nipples. Jigamsa yapayavad api asadvi lebe gatim dhatri uchitam tato anyam. And Sri Krishna is so kind. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of dhatri or a nurse or a mother to a demon, putna, baki, yam. Although she was unfaithful, asadvi. Asadvi means unfaithful. She tried to trick the baby Krishna, was only 3 days or 6 days old, just born. And she came. Putna was very ugly, a demoness, but she came in the form of a beautiful Vraj Gopi. The description that is given in the Bhagavat, beautiful lips, beautiful eyes, lotus-like eyes, extending all the way to her ears like lotus petals. Very beautiful slim waist, like a very youthful woman with very raised breasts. This is a description given in the Bhagavatam. And when she walked on the street, in the streets of Gokul, all the Vrajvasis were thinking that, oh, some Devi from the heavenly planets has come. And they, without questioning her, let her go inside the house of Nanda Maharaj and right into the room where Mother Yashoda had baby Krishna sitting on her lap, along with Rohini mother and a few other gopis. And she looked so innocent and beautiful. And she said, can I take your baby in my arms, please, Yashoda Mai? And Mother Yashoda very innocently gives baby Krishna in arms. And she starts breastfeeding Sri Krishna, that is smeared with kalakutam, with poison. Her intention was to feed Sri Krishna. But at the same time, she had the intention of killing Krishna. And that is why it is said that when Krishna granted her desire, actually speaking, Putna in her last life was the daughter of Bali Maharaj, Ratnavali. And when Vaman Dev came in that form of the dwarf Brahmin, he was so cute like a baby that when he was on his way to the palace to see a father, Ratnavali saw the baby Vaman and he says, how cute it is. I wish I had a baby like him. And I can personally feed her mother's milk. And lo and behold, Krishna is Purna Purushottam. He completed that desire of breastfeeding, of Ratnavali's desire, the daughter of Bali Maharaj. But because she had an ulterior motive, she wanted to kill Sri Krishna. So Krishna, when he started sucking on Putna's breast, he closed his eyes. He's thinking that she has come here to feed me as a mother. And when I take her prana, her life out, I do not want to see a motherly figure die like that. And like that, there are a few other philosophies that our acharyas explain about Putna. Also, she was a woman, and he did not want to kill a woman while his eyes were open. So these were the things that was going on in Krishna's mind. Therefore, when he was sucking on Putna's breast, he closed his eyes. And eventually, she understood that this is the Supreme Lord, and she tried to free herself from, but she could not. The Krishna had taken Putna's nipple into his mouth and would not let go. And she became huge in her original form. Even then, she was not able to free herself from Sri Krishna. And then eventually Krishna sucked out her prana, her life air. And then she fell to the ground with a huge thud. But Putna was given a position. Most demons that are killed by Krishna or Krishna's avatars, they all get Sayuja Mukti in the Brahma Jyoti. They do not get the Sagun Vaikuntha or the Sagun Brahman, the darshan of the Lord, or the residency into Vaikuntha or the spiritual planets. They are sent into the Brahma Jyoti. It's a light, an undifferentiated Brahman light. And where even these Mayavadis and Brahmavadis, they get a residency there upon their perfection. And then later on they fall down from there. Aruva kruchena vimukta manena patanti adaha. Brahmaji says this, that they think they are liberated, they have merged into this, the Supreme Brahman. They're merged into that. But ultimately they fall down to this material world. So all Rakshasas, they get this Sahyajya Mukti. They get liberation into this peaceful Brahman, Brahma Jyoti, the light, which is not Vaikuntha. It is on the border of Vaikuntha and the material world. Actually, the border of Viraja or the Karanadaksha Jal, where Mahavishnu reclines, and from him, from his pores, millions and millions of material worlds of Brahmans are created. So that is the causal ocean. Under the causal ocean is this material world, the 25%. And just above the causal ocean is a layer of Brahma Jyoti. And nobody can cross that Brahma Jyoti unless and until they are pure devotees. Unless and until they are Sagun devotees. Devotees who have nothing but pure devotion. And pure devotion means seva. And seva means you can only do it to a Sagun person, to a personality, not to an impersonal entity. So if one believes in a personality, if one is in pure devotion, one will cross all these barriers. The jiva is permitted, will go through the barrier of all the heavenly planets, cross over into the Mahat-tattva, cross over and we will be purified in the Jal of Viraja Nadi or the causal ocean. Further, we will pass through the Brahma Jyoti, and then the doors of Vaikuntha or the spiritual planets will open, and they will enter into one of the spiritual planets based on their devotion to a particular personality of Godhead, either Narayana, Vishnu, Narsingadev, Dwarkadish, Vasudev, or Nanda Nandan Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. But otherwise, Brahma Jyoti is like a last barrier, not easily crossable. But Putna did not get Brahma Jyoti. Putna got admission into Golok, not even Vaikuntha planets. As Salokya, Sarupya, Sarshti, or Sarupya Mukti, as the other Vaikuntha devotees are. She got the position of a mother, Dhatri, a nurse in Golok Vrindavan. What a kind person. How shall I take shelter of one more merciful? There's such a merciful personality that although this demon came to kill him, he gave him a position of a mother in his own home in Golok Vrindavan. Kam va dayalum sharanam vrajena. I take shelter, sharanam. He was so attracted to this shloka. Take me to your Gurudev. And when he went home, he saw it was his own father. And then Vyasadeva imparted this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the highest spiritual concept, the nigama-kalpa-taror, galitaṁ phalaṁ. And Śukadeva Gosvāmī was revived in his original sukha consciousness of Rasika Vaishnava, Radharani's own servant. And therefore, when he spoke Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, śuka-mukhād, amṛta-drava-saṁyutam, perfected always, because it emanated from his mouth. Therefore, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the ripened fruit, became even more nectarean. And it is enjoyed by everybody, even the liberated souls. So it is not like where there is a cessation that, oh, we finished all the 12 cantos. I read it. I've done. I've heard it. I'm done. No. Rasikā, bhuvi, bhāvukāḥ. Muhur or rasika. Muhur. Muhur means again and again. The word muhur in Sanskrit means again and again. That is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Śuka-mukhād, drava, amṛta-drava-saṁyutam, saṁyutam. Perfect in all respects because it emanated from Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Although Vyasadeva, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam manifests to him, but if you all remember, in the last time we described this verse where Lord Shiva himself said, Aham Vedi, Sukho Veti, Vyaso Veti na Veti va, Bhakta Bhagavatam Grahyam, na Buddhaya, na Chatikaya. This is quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. Quoting Lord Shiva, I may know, Śukadeva Gosvāmī may know knows the Bhagavatam, the son of Vyasadeva. But Vyasadeva may know or may not know. So what he is implying here is that all the rasik, inner, deeper, the deep fathoming of the ocean of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Vyasadeva was not probably imparted with that as much as Śukadeva Gosvāmī was. Bhishma Dev was not, although they are pure devotees. Bhishma Dev knew about the pastimes of Sri Krishna in Vraj. But he was not given entrance into Vraj. When he gave up his body, he went to Vaikuntha. So the point, my dear devotees, is that even Vyasadeva, even great devotees like Bhishma, they are not given entrance into Golo. So can you imagine what our fortune is? That we have been given this amazing opportunity, admission into the school of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and of course even the Vallabhi Vaishnavas in the Vatsalya Ras, in the Nandalaya Seva, and in the Nikunja Ras, in the Ras of the Gopis, just like the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It is beyond Vaikuntha, beyond Vyasadeva, beyond Bhishma Dev. Aham Veti, Sukho Veti. I understand, Sukha understands. Vyaso Veti na Veti, I cannot say whether he understood fully or not. Bhaktya Bhagavatam Grahyam. Not with material intelligence, na buddhaya na tikaya. Not with speculative methods or imaginary commentaries. Not with the material conception that, oh, we have to do this Bhagavat part, something good will happen in our home, our business will increase. No. Bhaktya Bhagavatam Grahyam. This is very important, my dear devotees. Bhaktya Bhagavatam Grahyam. Bhagavatam can only be learned through devotional service. Lord Shiva himself, he spoke this verse. And Lord Shiva is there in all the Vraj Mandal, in different parts, even on the highest. The Updeshamrita of Rupa Goswami mentions that amongst all the different tirthas, Mathura Mandal is considered the best in Vraj, and better than Mathura, because in Mathura Krishna Vasudeva appeared, that is his birthplace. But better than that is Gokul, where Krishna played in his childhood. And better than Gokul is Vrindavan, where the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and the gopis and the different rasas happened in Vrindavan. But even better than Vrindavan is Govardhan, where a lot of intimate pastimes of Krishna with his gopis and with the different rasas, more intense and more sweet pastimes happened in Govardhan. And within Govardhan, the highest place is Radhakund. So Mahadev, Shankar Mahadev is there in Radhakund. First we offer him obeisances before we go to Radhakund, right on the banks of Radhakund, as Kundaleshwar Mahadev. Mansi Ganga, Lord Shiva is present as Chakleshwar Mahadev. Nandagaon, he is present as Nandeshwar Mahadev. Gokul, He is present as Chintaharan Mahadev. And there are so many. Kamyavan, Kameshwar Mahadev. Mathura, Bhuteshwar Mahadev. Krishna always says that Tomara, Narottam Das Thakur says, Tomara Hriday Sada Govinda Vishram, Govinda Koena Vaishnava Mama Pran. Vaishnava More Pran. Govind says that these Vaishnavas are my life and soul. So Lord Shiva, but Vyasdev doesn't have a position in Golok or in Vrindavan as such. Yeah, there is a place known as the Adi Badri because of the Vyasdevs, but it is kind of limited. There is the replication of Badrinath in Vraj also, known as the Adi Badrinath. But the intimate pastimes, Veti na Veti. But Sukadev knows. Therefore, nigama-kalpa-taror, galitaṁ, phalaṁ, śuka-mukhād, amṛta-drava-saṁyutam, pibata bhāgavataṁ, rasam ālayam, muhur, rasikā bhuvi, bhāvukāḥ. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī Pad ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai. Thank you very much. So I will hand over the microphone now to Anuprabhu.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and all Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. Thank you, Satchitananda Prabhuji, for another nice lecture. So basically this verse 3, what I feel is of two parts. The meaning is of two parts. The first part is the position of Bhagavatam, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the essence of all Vedic literature. All the Vedic literatures are deals with dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all types of studies like education, medical studies, if you see, like the military studies, and all kind of teachings are there. So it's a kalpataru. If you want something, you can study Veda and you can get all those. But Bhagavatam is the essence of everything. And the second part describes, we know that Bhagavatam is essence of all the Vedic literature, but how we should hear it and from whom we should hear it. So this part describes like Śukadeva Gosvāmī is in his past life was a parrot, and as a parrot can find out the best of best mangoes, and we should when we look for a best mango, we should think of that parrot. Like similarly, when we want to have all the essence or pure essence from this Bhagavatam Katha, we should hear it from the source, that is the divine source, or who is actually dedicated and surrendered to Krishna. So that's the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. They have learned this from their Gurudevs, and they are the best source, and from whom we should learn and listen Bhagavatam Katha. And when we listen, we should dedicate, or we should surrender completely with bhakti towards Sri Krishna. So that's what I understand. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining today's session. If you have any questions or comments, you can ask Satchitananda Prabhuji. I will open the mic, allow everybody to ask questions. Before that, a couple of important announcement. Tuesday, 23rd February is Vaimi Ekadasi. Please fast from beans and grains and break your fast next day. from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Next day is Varaha Dwadasi, which is also appearance of Lord Varadeva. And also Thursday, 25th February is Nityananda Trayodasi. It's appearance of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Thank you very much, everybody. And if you have any questions, now you can ask Satchitananda Prabhuji.
Thank you, Anu Prabhu. One more thing on Nityananda Trayodasi, which is Thursday. It is Ekadashi Prasadam. Very important. No beans and grains. On any of the Krishna Tattva, Vishnu Tattva appearances, one should refrain, especially Nityananda Prabhu. So that austerity is important. So please fast on Nityananda Trayodasi. Yes, so
Thank you,
any
Prabhuji.
questions or comments or
Hare Krishna, Satchitananda Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada, Dhanvat Pranam, Pitambar Prabhu.
How are you, Prabhu? Everything okay? So wonderful lecture, Prabhu. As I say, the class takes us out of this world, provided, we pibata bhāgavataṁ rasam ālayam. We drink, we don't listen. So, Prabhu, I've got a couple of questions. Easy, the short, quick questions. So first one is when Śukadeva Gosvāmī was going and then Vyasadeva was following, Śukadeva Gosvāmī is said to be impersonalist at that time. And then he happens to meet this disciple and then he listens to those slokas. So that disciple is the disciple of Vyasadeva, Prabhu?
Who?
The disciple through whom Śukadeva Gosvāmī listens. Up to that point, he was impersonalist, and then later on
he heard from Vyasadeva. Okay, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question again?
Okay, so when he came out after 16 years, he started walking. Vyasadeva started following. At that point in time, he was impersonalist. He was
a Brahmavadi. Yes.
Brahmavadi. And then later on he got converted into personalist, and then we know the thing. But when at that point,
the way to word it is that personalism re-manifested back in him. He was always a personalist, but I remember I said that in order to enhance the position of guru and taking vidya, he took the sanskaras from Vyasadeva, so that personalism was re-manifested. It is like Arjun. Arjun acted like an ignorant person. But how can he be ignorant? He is the associate of Sri Krishna, friend of Sri Krishna. So similarly, this was just for the sake of Leela. He was a Brahmavad. And that Brahmavad, it is due to the mercy of Guru, he became like, he re-manifested back to his original position. So there was a short period of time that he displayed that pastime of being a Brahma. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. So the question there is, Prabhu, the person through whom he recited, he heard that verse, that person is a disciple of Vyasadeva, or?
Yes. Disciple of Vyasadeva. Yes. Actually, there are two versions. One version is that they were children who are playing in the forest and they had learned from Vyasadeva. And another version is that they were actually residents of that forest, like some kind of a tribal persons who Vyasadeva in particular took interest in teaching them, so that one day through them he knew that my son is very intelligent, and if he hears Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, perhaps he will get attracted, and that was the trick. So he actually accepted them as disciples, and he said that whenever you are in the forest, sing these verses of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So Vyasadeva actually made them disciples, these persons, the tribes people. And then that's how he heard those verses, and then he asked, who is your guru? Take me to your guru.
So in other words, Srila Vyasadeva anticipated these events would take place, and in advance he taught the tribals or the disciple to recite this one, and it was by the providence, that it has to happen.
It's all Krishna's plan.
Providence, Prabhu. That's wonderful. That's the sweetness. So, then he was directed to the Gurudev. Śukadeva Gosvāmī asked that, where did you learn this from? They say, it's our Guru Maharaj. Who is your Guru Maharaj? Okay, that's the Vyasadeva.
He said, take it to your Guru Maharaj. He didn't even ask the name. And then when he went there, he said, oh, this is my father, Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva, as you come, I will teach you, my dear boy.
Okay. So that's clear, Prabhu. That's one. Second question, Prabhu, is Putana. So when Putana was granted liberation, we have got 5 types of muktis: Sayujya, Salokya, Samipya, Sarsti, and so which particular one, which particular mukti she got? I think it was Samipya, Prabhu, because she was granted a nurse in the Goloka Vrindavana.
Yeah, you can say it is Samipya, you can say it is Salokya. Yeah, but generally, these muktis, they pertain to Vaikuntha. When it comes to Golok, it is like beyond mukti, let's put it that way.
Okay.
We do not generally, I have not heard acharyas say that, the devotees of Golok are, everybody is Samipya. Everybody has got that intimacy with Sri Krishna. So Golok is a very special place in the Chintamani Dham, in the spiritual world. So generally when we talk about the other 4 muktis of Samipya, Sarupya, Salokya and Sarsti, that applies to Vaikuntha.
That's right. So that means this is beyond that, probably.
Beyond Vaikuntha. Beyond Vaikuntha, yes.
That's right. And then the third one is just a comment, Prabhu, that what a sweet pastime when Śukadeva Gosvāmī started walking, and then Vyasadeva was following him, that my son, come back, my son, come back. At that time, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam describes, that Śukadeva Gosvāmī, Digambar, of course, because Maya wouldn't touch him. That was Krishna's benediction. And when he passed through a lake where Matajis were taking bath,
yes, that is true.
Matajis
they did not cover their bodies. But as soon as Vyasadeva appeared there, they started covering their bodies. Paramatma within the hearts of those young girls that were taking a bath, they knew that this person is completely not on the bodily concept, and Vyasadeva, is kind of, so they took some shame, and they were feeling shameful, and they started covering the bodies. Very true. Thanks for reminding.
This is the sweetness which we relish, Prabhu, when we listen Bhagavatam or read Bhagavatam. That look at the position of Śukadeva Gosvāmī, a 16-year-old boy, at what state he is, what is his status, what is his realization, just because of the boon, of Lord Krishna, that he is granted that Maya wouldn't touch, but then that shows that Śukadeva Gosvāmī would know all the rasas. And even I was linking, Prabhu, when you were describing that Śukadeva Gosvāmī would know all the deepest of the deep rasas of Radha and Krishna, which veti na veti, Vyasadeva may or may not know.
May not.
And then I was linking this episode with what you said, Prabhu, that because Śukadeva Gosvāmī was a parrot of Srimati Radharani, and it was the instruction of Srimati Radharani that you go wherever there is this thing, the sweet pastimes are narrated, and so he would know in and out, Prabhu, from his previous birth. So I was just trying to link that. Yes, it makes a lot of sense that look at the Śukadeva Gosvāmī's position versus his father Vyasadeva. What an exalted person, and that is what makes Parikshit Maharaj, fully satisfied in 7 days. Only a person like Śukadeva, that's just a comment. I realized that, so I said, let me share it with you. It's very sweet, Prabhu.
Yes. No, it's a good thing that you brought that up, and it's true. And when Śukadeva Gosvāmī arrived at the bank of the Ganga, where Parikshit Maharaj was there, 60,000 rishis were waiting, all great rishis, like Naradji himself, Vasishtha, and so many different 60,000 Vishwamitra and all these great rishis were there, and they all got up, giving so much respect giving respect to Śukadeva Gosvāmī, because that is the position, the Vyaspit or the person who is the speaker, it commands that. Muhur or rasika bhuvi bhāvukāḥ. There were many rasik devotees. Like Naradji is there in that audience, but he sat down to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So one is a good listener, can become a good speaker, and one is a good speaker, has to become a good listener. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is muhura or rasika bhuva. Again and again, one can keep hearing.
That's right, Prabhu. And one more point, Prabhu, if you allow me, this could be down the road, but when Śukadeva Goswami finished on the 7th day to Parikshit Maharaj, the providence was that Taksat will come and bite Parikshit Maharaj, and that is where how he will end his life. But I heard that Śukadeva Goswami left at the end of the 7th day or after finishing, whenever, he left that place where all these 50,000-60,000 rishis were listening. Why? Bhagavatam says because Taksat cannot enter a place where Śukadeva Goswami is there.
Yes.
So how sweet.
Yes.
How sweet is that?
I mean, sometimes when we hear Bhagavatam, there's always something new. And that is the amazing thing, about Bhagavatam. We don't know it all. Let's put it that way.
That's right.
And there's always something that is highlighted, or something that is, and there is also some that is through the realizations of the hearts of the pure devotees, Bhagavatam. You may not find a particular verse in the Bhagavad itself, but you will find that manifestation of the verse in the form of words and in the form of a leela that a particular devotee may have actually experienced. So that is also Bhagavad. So everything that we actually see in the verses is not what we actually is Bhagavad. Bhagavad is way beyond that also. So it's an experience. It's a pure devotional experience of the pure devotees. That as much as they dive deeper into it, newer and newer rasas, they keep emanating. So that's how it is. But these were some good points, Pitamar Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. When we relish the sweetness, Prabhu, we can't help but share it, So
that's what it is.
Overflows, that this is the sweetness of Bhagavatam, Prabhu. These episodes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nandpran Prabhuji, I know you wanted to kind of give some of your wonderful inputs, Prabhu. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thanks for wonderful session. With due respect to Sau Prabhuji, I would like to add something for his realization that Bhagavatam is not a essence of all the Shastras. Actually, Bhagavatam is beyond all the Shastras, because all the Shastras are dealing with the 4 Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And Bhagavatam is going beyond that. It is giving the Krishna Prem, which is not there in the other Shastras. That is why Naradji instructed Vyasdev to go ahead with this Grantha. So, actually the essence of all Shastra is Bhagavad Gita, not Bhagavatam. As we see in that picture that the cow is standing and Krishna is milking the milk in the form of Bhagavad Gita from that cow. So those cow is representative of all the Shastras except the Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is definitely beyond everything and everything and everything, because Bhagavatam itself is nothing but it is Krishna himself. Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. So thank you, Prabhuji, for giving us wonderful Bhagavatam class every time and refreshing our knowledge. And as you rightly said, it is very difficult to understand Bhagavat without the mercies of any Bhagavat. So thank you. Please keep mercy and let us understand Bhagavatam as it is, as and when possible, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nandpran Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to us. And it's a learning curve for me. Constantly I'm learning something, hearing something. The main thing is the essence. Krishna Prem. Radharani is the ultimate of Satyam Param Dhimahi, means it is Sri Radha. So when that conclusion comes, everything is perfect. The whole Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Sri Radha. So it is all depending on the consciousness of the devotee, the consciousness of the person. There's so many different angles that one can, facets of a diamond. They're all beautiful and they're different. depending on the realization, depending on what. And Krishna has the right to reveal whatever he wants to to a particular devotee, at a particular time. Same verse, same word, different beautiful rasic meanings. It can just emanate. This is Bhagavad. Because it cannot be limited. Bhagavad has no limitation. It has no limitation. It is pure. It is unlimited purity. Hare Krishna.
And Prabhu, if you allow me, I would add to what Nanda Pran Prabhu said in the Gita Mahatmya. This for the information of again Anup Sahu Prabhu, on the lines of what Nanda Pran Das Prabhu was suggesting. Gita Mahatmya says in the second last verse, Sarvopanisado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitam Ratam Mahat. Yes. And the translation of that is this Gita Upanishad, that is Bhagavad Gita. It is talked about Bhagavad Gita because it is in the Gita Mahatmya, Bhagavad Gita. This Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all Upanishads is just like a cow, and Lord Krishna is famous as a cowherd boy, is milking this cow. Arjuna is just like a calf, and learned scholars and pure devotees are to drink the nectarean milk of Bhagavad Gita. So, Bhagavad Gita and then Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, then Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it is like
Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it is graduation, then post-graduation, and doctorate. So
actually,
when we say
that is just the way to say things.
Yeah.
Bhagavatam itself is a doctorate.
Yeah, but
Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita are dawn different.
Absolutely.
But this is just to Prabhupada mentioned this. I want to understand Prabhupada, we have to see in what context Prabhupada is saying. That's right. Say that actually Bhagavatam is the PhD of all the PhDs, in one sense. So yes, but definitely one has to go gradually so that one is able to be stable in the philosophy and the foundation, and then one can easily, dive into deeper waters. One has to become a good swimmer, and then a better swimmer, and the best swimmer. The more deeper you go, the more you need to become stronger and stronger. So that is what it is.
So when we describe Bhagavad Gita, Amut Prabhu, we say it's the essence of all Upanishads. But when we describe Bhagavatam, as Nanda Pran Prabhu kindly pointed out, it is the ripened fruit of all Vedas.
Yes.
Ripened fruit, like it's the sweetest ripened fruit. So
yes. I got it. Thank you. It's the essence is not the actual word which I use. So when we say these all Vedas and all literatures, those deals with the materialistic nature of universe, like dharma, artha, kama, moksha, or any kind of education, from medical education to any teachings. So these Vedas, this deals with all those things. So essence of this is something different. I completely understand. And Bhagavatam Katha is only based on bhakti and Krishna. So it's completely a upper stage.
So
yes,
Bhagavad
definitely.
Gita is spoken by Krishna, but Bhagavatam is the description of the Leelas of Krishna.
Yes. So,
and one more point for Satchitananda Prabhu, the name of the wife of Vyasadeva is Vatika. 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 And the son is Śukadeva Gosvāmī and Dhritarashtra, Vidura, and Pandu.
They are Satyavati.
Father and mother is Parasara Muni and Satyavati. But Vatika is the name. Generally is not spoken even sometimes.
Thank you. Yeah, Vatika. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody else would like to share their reflections or any questions or any corrections? Hare Krishna. Yes,
we
go ahead,
hear.
Prabhu.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can also see
Okay,
you.
sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam Prabhu. So,
Jai
all
Prabhupada.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Krishna Prabhupada.
All glories to all the devotees here. Dhanavad Pranam to you all. Pitambar Prabhu raised the point about 5 types of liberation, right? So, are you saying the Braj liberation is beyond the 5 S's, which is the Salakya, Samakya, Sarsti, and all that?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of liberation would you term that? Or is it just Shakya?
Sorry?
Is it like a friendship liberation, right? There's a Sakya, also a term called Sakya, right?
There is all kinds of rasas in Golo.
Mhm.
There is Dasya, there is Sakya, there is
9
Vatsya,
types, right?
and
9
there is
types of devotion. Sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah. 4. There it is 4. There is no, the 5th one is not there. There is no Shantras in Golo. You're talking about liberation or you're talking about rasas? Let's first.
Liberation first. First is liberation. Yes. So there are 5 types. There are
Yes.
5.
Yes. Generally, when we talk about those liberations, the first type of liberation, Saivijya Mukti, is Brahma Jyoti, which is not even a part of Vaikuntha. It is the light emanating, cumulative light emanating from Vaikuntha lokas, from all the inhabitants of Vaikuntha, and all the avatars and Lord Krishna himself.
Which all the Mayavadis like Ramakrishna and Vivekananda believe in.
Yeah, you can say so.
Mhm.
They believe in that. A lot of the Chinmayan and so many other different Mayavadis, the Brahma Kumaris. So these are all the different groups that believe that their all ultimate goal is to merge into the Brahman, and they are one. Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, and Aham Brahmasmi, I am He, so Aham. So these are their philosophies that they follow and teach. So that is not Vaishnava philosophy. Actually, any kind of mukti for Vaishnavas without any service to the Supreme Lord, service can only be done only in sagun, in personalism. And in personalism, how can you serve?
Exactly.
Supposing if you are invisible and you come to my house, can I see you? I cannot. You are invisible, you are nirgun. I cannot even serve you a glass of water.
And because of that Brahmavad philosophy, I grew up so confused in Calcutta, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I know.
First 28 years,
That
I
is
was
why
completely
Mahaprabhu
confused.
said, Mayavad Bhasya Sunita Hoy Sarvanash. So you're fortunate. And that is the reason only personality like Srila Prabhupada, who are very, very amazing Vaishnavas, Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So a lot of us actually come across such people, and if we are not strong enough, their philosophy can be very enamoring and very attractive, and they can convert you like this if you are not strong enough. So that is why one should not associate with Mayavadis. Unless and until one is strong in scripture, one is able to, I know my wife's cousin. He's such a strong Mayavadi. He says, he calls himself he's God. And then I tell him sometimes, now I don't even talk to him. He doesn't want to. We previously used to listen to my pravachans, and then all he had to do is find some fault somewhere in the Sanskrit, somewhere in there he used to find faults. And then sometimes I used to, discuss with him, but I gave up. He's like totally gone crazy, this person. He calls himself God. So, like sometimes Prabhupada says, what kind of God you are? You have a pain in your tooth and then you're crying like a baby. So this is the situation. I am God. So arrogant,
Exactly. I see that in them.
So they are extremely arrogant. They because in order to serve or to do seva, one has to be humble. And that humility is not cultivated in their philosophy. If you're God, I am God, why should serve you? Why should you serve me? We are equals.
Yeah, and that is where
Go ahead.
that is where Bhagavatam comes to play. Devotional service is dotted with
philosophy always is, first of all, is I am a spirit soul, which even the Mayavadis believe. But the second part they are not interested in, or they don't want to know, is I am an eternal part and parcel of Sri Krishna.
Yeah.
That is where they go wrong. 50% they're right, and that 50% makes them completely wrong at some point. That half knowledge is always dangerous. And it sounds so nice if I tell to the crowd, oh, you are all God. It's a matter of time. That sounds so amazing, so nice, so sweet to the ears. I'm God. I don't know that. At some point I will become God. But if I say, we are all eternally servants, whether even in this material world, even after liberation, we will always be serving God. But that doesn't gel much. Why should then that envy comes in? Why is Krishna God? Why we should serve him? And that is the reason we are in the material world. That envy, bahirmukha, we are averse to Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
That is why, because of the minded independence that the jiva has, the misuse of minded independence has brought us to the material world. And the proper use of minded independence will liberate us from this material world. Even if we are in the material world, it will liberate us from the material world. One need not be in the material world, we can still be liberated. Even in this particular body. Prabhupada said that. Because if we are fully realized that I am not the spirit, I am not the body, I am a spirit soul, Jiver Swarup Krishna Nitya Das, then full realization, just not the knowledge, not the understanding. Doesn't matter. Swargeshu, Narkeshu, Apavargeshu, Samatulya Darshana. Whether one is in Swarga, in the heavenly planets, whether one is in Narka, in the hellish planets, Apavarga, in Vaikuntha, Samatulya Darshana. For a Vaishnava, it doesn't matter. So where Prabhupada is in Golok with Krishna, Radha Krishna, or whether he comes here, Krishna is always there in separation, Vipralamba Bhav, which is even higher. But these people don't understand that. They talk about, that is why, Shankaracharya, he warned his disciples. He had to come to do a certain task after Buddhism to re-establish the Vedas, because Lord Buddha rejected the Vedas. And suddenly to re-establish the Vedas, if he started preaching the Vaishnava philosophy, it would have been very difficult. So just to bring people, attract people, Shankaracharya translated the Sanskrit in such a way, grammatically perfectly correct. His disciples, yes, ultimately we will all become God. So, do as I say. So then they started following that philosophy, taking out all the different grammatical meanings that were related to the Brahmavad and Mayavad philosophy. But ultimately when he saw Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva, that, oh my God, well, look at what they are doing, these fellows. They're simply, going into the grammar of the Vedas, and they are simply debating and arguing and simply taking out all these different secondary, tertiary, other different meaning except the primary meaning. Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Mudamate. Samprapyate samhita kale nahi rakshati dukkarne. At the time of death, this grammatical debates and these meanings that you are trying to translate and interpret the Vedas, it's not going to help you. Bhaja Govinda. And Govind means a person, supreme personality of God. And that's why Srila Prabhupada is perhaps the only sadhu who translated it in the most perfect way in English. Supreme personality of God. Personality means a person, like you and I are persons. Personality of Godhead. Godhead has many different components. Brahma iti, Paramatma iti, Bhagwan iti Shabhyate. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we will come to that verse. One can realize God in three different aspects. Brahman, because the Brahma Jyoti is also Krishna's energy. So Krishna's energies are not different in one sense. But that is not full realization. Paramatma, he expands himself into every atom, what to talk about every entity, into millions and millions and trillions to the power of n. There is Paramatma feature. But that is also partial realization. Bhagwan iti Shabhyate. Bhagwan, the final and full realization is when one understands that he is a person. A real person. Just like, in the Western, especially the Americans, how they, not even in Hindi, I think I was sorry, even our culture, some nice work. literary, somebody who has written a nice poem or some nice upanyas, novel, or some nice painting. So when somebody comes to the house and that person is no more, the members of the family, this is my father. Now, it doesn't mean that this is the person, the painting on the wall, the painter was the father. But this is my father's energy. Sometimes we use that in the language. Ye mere pitaji hai, dekho. His books. This is my father. So the energy of the father in the form of the books or the painting is also considered the father, the energy. But accepting just the energy and rejecting the energetic, that is where the fault is. We have no problem in accepting Brahman. Yes, Brahman exists. It is not illusory. But we accept that it is not, it is the source of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
It's like the sun and sunshine, Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah, sun and sunshine. Sunshine rays cannot exist without the sun globe. It is the energy. It's like the solar energy. We have all those solar panels that produces electricity. That is sun. Sun's energy. But without the sun, then there is no energy. So accepting the energy as the ultimate is a big fault. Because that is for their sense gratification. I am God. I like that concept. That is sense gratification.
My own cousin brothers, they are Mayavadis, and they continue eating meat, fish, everything.
Yeah. So recently, this we saw that on CNN that the NASA landed a rover on Mars, and this cousin of my wife, he is this big-time IIT engineer and many degrees under his belt, who calls himself God. So he sent a WhatsApp to my wife the other day, and he likes all these things, you know, NASA. His dream was to come to NASA. So he sent this. So then I said, why aren't you telling that God that this is all mithya? Why even bother? It's not reality. You're talking about Mars. Mars is mithya. Brahma Satya, Jagat mithya. This material world, all this Mars and this and that. And jokingly I told her, write back to Bhagwan that this is all mithya. You know, why are you even, you know, talking about this? So he said, no, I don't want to get into argument with him. I cannot discuss politics and religion with him. I said, I was just joking with you. I know that.
Yeah. So Prabhu, another point about the Charitamritam, Chaitanya Charitamritam.
Your question I haven't forgotten. I've been busy about Madhvacharya's books. So I will send you some information.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
WhatsApp that you had sent. Yeah.
Sure, Prabhu. So, you know, because I don't know where we had the fortune, but somehow I became a Bengali and able to understand the Chaitamritam verses. What I see is the rasa, which is in Bengali, expressed in Chaitamritam, is really it's so sweet, you know, and it's so nectarian. That's why even Prabhupada probably must have termed it beyond Bhagavatam sometimes because of the nectar and the ras involved in that. But yes, totally, they are equal. But at the same time, I
agree with Prabhupada. I agree with this statement also, that really there is a reconciliation. Bhagavatam has got that rasa tattva in a concealed way, especially Radha tattva. And Chaitanya Charitamrita in an open way,
that
because
is true.
of Mahaprabhu, it is revealed.
Yes.
So therefore it is beyond Bhagavatam. But Bhagavatam, those who are Rasik devotees can see Radhaji in every word. Radhaji on every page. That's Satyam Param Dhimahi. But it is so this is the reconciliation. So yes, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what Srila Prabhupada says. And it makes sense. And the reason why, because Śukadeva Gosvāmī could not take the name of Gurudev, Radhaji. Otherwise, Bhagavatam would not continue. If he spoke the name Radha, finished. Even Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Prabhupada, sometimes he went into ecstasy. Although he tried hard, he was very strict not to display it. Because Sri Radhika Madhavya Rapara Madhurya Lila Guna Rupa Namna. When it comes to Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Rasik Vaishnavas, it is impossible to contain that rasa. It is impossible to contain those emotions, those transcendental emotions. Only a stone-hearted person, would not be able to react when such esoteric and high subject matters are being discussed or sung. So those symptoms are there. Romancha Kampashru Taranga Banjo Vande Guru Sri Charnaravindam. So yes, therefore Bhagavatam is the preparation, and also it is not only the sadhana, it is the sambandha, abhidya and prayojan. But prayojan is kind of covered. Only the like a real miner or a real good jeweler can identify a top quality diamond in its rough state. So Bhagavatam has got that, but it requires a very good jeweler, in order to go into that. It's not that it's not there in Bhagavatam, it is there. And that is why one who have taken a deep interest in Bhagavatam, that Chaitanya Charitamrita will become very easy to relate to. Otherwise, it will become a sentimental platform.
Yes, Prabhu.
It will be more or less like a sentimental kind of a katha. And there is a very fine line between devotion and emotion. Emotion in the sense, I'm talking about material emotion. So hopefully one day, we will get this mercy. We have the mercy. All we have to do is, constantly, pray for more, become greedy. Greed, we need greed. But also we have to cultivate that qualification.
Thank you, Prabhu. And one last question. I know it's running out of time, but maybe 2 minutes. If you please can spend on Srila Ramanujacharya, whose disappearance day was today, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of minutes on him, because Mahaprabhu is to love, the lineage, and that's where actually we belong as well.
Sorry, what? Mahaprabhu what?
Is the same lineage of Srila Ramanujacharya, right? As well.
No. Where did you hear that from?
I know he started the Śrī Sampradaya, but yeah, he also believed in Krishna as the form, right? Ramanujacharya.
Yeah, but that is Vaikuntha. But if you want to know something about him, basically he appeared sometime in the 11th century. And he was the principal Acharya in the Śrī Sampradaya. And there are 4 main Sampradayas, as you know, from the... Yes. And his Vedanta Sutra commentary known as the Sri Bhasya established the doctrine which is known as the Vishishta-Advaitavad. Advaita means the Advaita philosophy is of Shankaracharya Pad, monoism. And Vishishta-Advaita means that basically the qualified non-dualism. That we are spirit soul, and the Supreme Lord is also spirit soul, but we are Visishta, distinctly separate from him, qualified. He is Vibhu, we are Anu. So that was his philosophy. He is great and we are very very minuscule. And he was a staunch proponent of personalism. So basically, that's why it is a bona fide sampradaya. Whereas the Advaitavad is the monoism of Shankaracharya's followers' philosophy.
Yeah.
So that's what he was he was the main Acharya who brought back the Vaishnavism, the concept of qualified non-dualism, the qualified where the Jiva and Atma, Paramatma, they are not the same. At the same time, they are both spiritual, but they are distinctly separate. That is the philosophy that he established, and that is why he's considered. And Ramanujacharya himself is actually Lakshman. He is actually Baldev, avatar of Lord Baldev. Like Shankaracharya Pad is the avatar of Lord Shiva. As the name indicates, Rama Anuja. Anuj means younger. Ramanuja Charya. And he he had traveled all throughout India preaching this personalism concept. And therefore, he is one of the most prominent acharyas in our one of the four bona fide sampradayas. And it is said that he initiated over 700 sannyasis. And he had over 12,000 brahmachari disciples. That's amazing. And he had also many thousands of householders, who were his followers. About Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the connection was that when Mahaprabhu went to South India, he went to the Sri Rangam temple, which is under the Ramanuja Sampradaya. And at that time, Venkat Bhatt, who was a Ramanuja, he was in the Ramanuja Sampradaya, the father of Gopal Bhatta Gosvāmī, one of the 6 Goswami Vrindavan. So he and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at his house, and he served him very lovingly. During the monsoon season, 4 months, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at Venkat Bhatt's house, who was in the Sri Sampradaya. But after coming in contact with Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu, wonderful conversations are there about Lakshmi Devi, Vaikuntha, and about Radharani and Krishna, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu argued so nicely with him that Lakshmi Devi is very chaste. She doesn't want to leave Narayana, but etc. Wonderful conversations are there. Finally, he converts him into Gaudiya Vaishnavism.
That's right.
Not only him, his brother, he had 2 brothers. I think one was Prakashanand Saraswati, who was also, actually he was a Mayavadi, which is, not even Sri Sampradaya.
Yeah.
And then, but sometimes they say Prakashanand Saraswati and Prabodhanand Saraswati are the same. So there are 2 different opinions in this regard. And then Prabodhanand Saraswati was basically then converted to pure Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And he became one of the most important propagators of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Especially, he has written those books, Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi and Vrindavan Mahima Amrit. And he is none other than Tunga Vidya Sakhi, one of the Ashtasakhis. So they all come from that line of Venkat Bhatt, who was in the Sri Sampradaya. So perhaps, is that the connection that you are talking about?
I think, thank you, Prabhu. I was confusing with Madhvacharya, whose appearance day was yesterday, or disappearance day was yesterday. That's the line we belong to, which Brahma, Madhya,
not Ramanujacharya.
Gaudiya, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Is there anybody else who would like to, before we wind up for today?
Haribol Prabhu, Pranam Dandvat.
Jai Shri Prabhupada, Mukund Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Very nice. And this very nice communication with the other, Bhaktagan. This we are this increase our knowledge. Thankful to them, everybody. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay then. Yes, Pitambar Prabhu, you have unmuted yourself. You want to say?
Yes, for the benefit of Prema Sarovar Das Prabhu, Prabhupada describes that when milk is touched by the serpent, it's
Milk, yes.
So Mayavadism is like that. Like he's described that he was 20 years before, he was confused and he was in that Mayavadi or I am God, and so we need to. Prabhupada is very much staunch believer that we should keep away from the Mayavadism. We should not, otherwise, our knowledge gets contaminated as much as that serpent tastes the milk, and milk we cannot consume. So we have to be very keeping distance. Prabhupada every now and then condemns Mayavadism, Every now, wherever you read scriptures of Prabhupada or purport, when it comes to Mayavad topic, he would condemn it. He said, just keep away, it's not for us to even come in touch, because they would impart something which can confuse us, and we are on the right track. So let's remain on the right track. So just for the benefit of Prema Sarovar Das Prabhu.
No, that's good. Actually, Mahaprabhu said that. Prabhupada repeated Mahaprabhu, Mahavad the Bhashya is the voice of Banash.
That's right.
Mahaprabhu used to say that. Like the Vedas, the scriptures are pure, like the pure milk. But if it is touched by a serpent even once, then one has to reject that milk. So what they are trying to say is, the Acharyas, Vaishnava Acharyas, that even these Mayavadis, they use Bhagavad Gita and many Vedic scriptures. They preach that. But it is like this Vedic scriptures is compared to milk, and these Mayavadis are compared to serpents. So when they speak about the scriptures, that is touched by the serpent. So that will only bring our sarvanash. And once one becomes a Mayavad, perhaps they have to wait a very long time until pure devotees like Prabhupada come and convert them. Because it is very difficult. You and I just cannot. It's extremely difficult. They are so adamant. There's some very superior power is needed.
Yes.
Like Mahaprabhu himself, he was preaching. He converted many Mayavadis. Very powerful to convert Mayavadis. That is why Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra says specifically Nirvisesha, Shunyavadi. Paschatya Desha. Nirvisesh means Mayavads. Those who consider that God is Nirgun, there is no form, I am God. That kind of philosophy.
Yeah, although Krishna explicitly, categorically clears this up in Bhagavad Gita itself, many, many times in verses, that here is my form, I have the universal form, I have Virat Roop, right? Chaturbhuja Roop, all that. But that's why Prabhupada called the Mayavadis the rascals all the time.
Very true.
And
we have to be very, very humble in that mood, that at least, we are saved, or we are in the process of being saved. Right? Prabhupada can call them rascals, but we should not say all these things from our mouth. They are very, otherwise one day what will happen out of pride, you never know.
That is true. Yes.
What will happen to us.
Yes.
Okay. So,
yes.
Even while preaching, we have to be very careful. While we are giving pravachan, we can use certain strong points to bring the point across of the acharya. But otherwise, we have to be very careful, because then if that pride comes in us, that we are very better and we are this and that, then never know, to teach us a lesson, we can also fall into some kind of traps. So we have to be
very careful. Totally agree. Yeah,
as a matter of Prabhupada even said that even if you see a Mayavadi sannyasi, you should offer your obeisances. Have you heard that part? I have heard it. So you have to be very careful. At the end of the day, Jiver Swarup Krishna and Nitya Das, they don't recognize, but we should recognize that he is an ansha of Krishna.
That's right.
Dandvata Durata Bhelo. From far we should offer our obeisances.
And again, for Prema Sarovar Das Prabhu's information, 5 types of rasas is different than the 5 types of muktis, Prabhu. Liberation 5 types is different than the 5 types of rasas. So Sayujya, Samipya, Salokya. Sayujya is effulgence, mixing up. Salokya is in the same loka as Krishna. Samipya is like, one face to face with Krishna, like Gopas or. And then
Samipya means very close to Krishna.
Samipya, yeah. Samipya is like close, one on one, like Gopas or cow or even a blade of grass. just close one-on-one, So first is all the gunas coming up, So those two are different, Prabhu. 5 types of rasas is different than the 5 types of liberations.
Yes, Prabhu. Totally. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you, Asim Prabhu. Thank you, Anup Prabhu. Thank you, all the devotees, for the wonderful discussions, churning, that's what it's called, Vistar. And we will see you again next Saturday. ISKCON Niagara will be celebrating Nityanand Trayodasi. So we have His Holiness Bhakti Anugrah Janardhan Swami from Vrindavan. He will be speaking on Lord Nityananda 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Sunday, we will do Bhagavatam again. I was thinking, I will dedicate 1 week in a month to Vaishnava bhajans. And we will, 3 weeks we will do Bhagavatam, and 1 week we can do Vaishnava bhajans. So, and expound on them. So we will let you know soon what the topic will be. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.